Carve the Mark, sorta, maybe, kinda a book review. Quick note, when this book came out, there was actually quite a bit of controversy surrounding it. Yikes, the Goodreads. This video isn't going to be about that though. It's just going to be a little lighthearted book review. Honestly, I haven't heard a lot of people talk about this book, which is kind of strange because it was written by Veronica Roth, who also wrote the widely popular Divergent series. Carve the Mark is also a part of a duology. The second book is called Fates Divide, but this is just going to be about the first book. Also, another note, the names are really hard to pronounce, so I'm just going to do my best. Sometimes I'll just rename the characters, so deal with it. Also, spoiler warning, I will try to put a list of the contents of this video. Wow. Alright, let's get into the plot summary. So the general premise of the book is sort of sci-fi, but also fantasy. It takes place in an entirely different universe with different planets and a lot of rules. So when you open up the book, you get a cute little map and it kind of will lay everything out for you. Basically, this universe is powered by something called the current stream, which some people consider holy, and they basically give the people of the universe some mad cool powers. So the two main characters are from competing nations on the same planet, which is called Thuva. One of the main characters is Syra. She is from the Shotat people, who are pretty brutal and warlike, and they are ruled by a tyrant who is Syra's brother. Syra's current gift mostly revolves around pain. She's basically in constant pain, but she can also inflict pain and kill other people. She's often used as a weapon by her tyrant brother Ryzik. She actually references herself as his blade. When she was younger, she accidentally killed her mother, the beloved queen, so Ryzik uses that as blackmail to keep her on his side. Alright, so now we can talk about the second main character, who is Akis. He is from the nation planet called Thuva. I know it's a bit confusing, but it's called Thuva, and he is the son of an oracle. So in this universe, there are 3 oracles on each planet, and they basically kind of predict the future. Also, another side note, there are certain families in this universe that are called fate favored, which basically means they have a destined fate. Before we get into more of the plot, here's a quick family tree of the Carisits. Saifa is Akis's mom. She's the Oracle. She married Akis's dad, and they have 3 children. Asia, who I'm probably going to call Elijah, he's the oldest. He is fated to become the next Oracle. Akis is the middle child. He's fated to die in service of a family of Novaic. And Cece is the little sister. She doesn't matter that much yet. Alright, back to the plot. Ryzik is destined to fall to the family of Benesit, so he wants to kidnap the next oracle to change the future. So Akis's dad is killed by Shotat warriors, and Akis and Elijah are kidnapped by the Shotat. And then we have a time skip, and they basically grow up in Shotat capture for a few years, and Akis eventually meets Syra. When they meet, it's discovered that he has the ability to stop current gifts with a touch, so that's his current gift. So when Syra is in contact with him, she isn't in pain. And this is where the story really starts, as they began to form a bond and work on freeing Asia, who is in Ryzik's custody. I think that's where I'm going to stop the plot summary for now. There's still a lot of books to go through, but I feel like we established the universe a bit, and now it's time to get to know the characters. I really like the characters in this story, but it's hard not to be overwhelmed with all of them because there are a lot of characters and all of their names are hard to pronounce. Obviously, I love Syra, but not just because she's one of the main characters. Her witty personality and sarcastic humor makes her hard not to love, and her persistence keeps the story interesting and inspiring. I feel like the reason I love Syra can be summed up pretty much in this scene from the book, where she's bleeding and badly hurt, and in the midst of all that pain, she still notices that Akis calls her his Syra. I don't know. Maybe I'm fangirling a little bit, but there's something so damn likable about her, and I just can't put my finger on it. Akis also complements her really well, which makes the story a lot more interesting as they go on their adventure. I also love how Veronica Roth developed Akis's character because he has this inner struggle with becoming Shotat and leaving behind his Thuvist identity, and I think she captured it perfectly. The only character I didn't really like was Akis's mom, Saifa. For some reason, she was one of those mystery characters, and I couldn't figure her out, and I didn't understand her motives. And those are all the characters I want to talk about. So obviously, for favorite quotes, I love the entire book. The writing is absolutely beautiful, but I couldn't just put the entire book on here, so I picked 6 of my favorite quotes, so here they are. Alright, so here are a few closing thoughts. I do really like this book. Certain scenes were really well written, and the dialogue really established the characters well. However, I felt like Veronica Roth really did squeeze a lot in there. She basically established an entire universe in just a duology, and personally, I'd like to see the story a little bit more developed and the universe a little bit more explored. There were parts of the books where I felt completely information dumped, and I needed to take notes or something. I have a low attention span, so that just might be me. I really did like the juxtaposition of the Thuvus and the Shotet and the little contradictions in each group. I loved the symbolism with like the hush flowers. I really fell in love with the characters, and yes, despite its many flaws and quote unquote controversies, I think that this would be a book that I would recommend to people because it is, for inexplicable reasons, a book I keep coming back to.